So I had been theorizing about this question for a while on my own, but then when researching for another video, found out that Cap gives us a pretty good list on his own. We already talked about this a bit last week, where in issue 400, the Supreme Intelligence of the Kree managed to tap into Captain America's subconscious to create some physical manifestations of those that Cap viewed were his greatest foes. So you can see here, the 6 that were created were Red Skull, Crossbones, King Cobra, Batroc the Leaper, Flag Smasher, and Viper. Now, that's only 6, but if you look at the speech bubble, he also mentions Baron Zemo, Machine Smith, Sidewinder, Arnim Zola, and Mr. Hyde. He does also mention Armadillo, but that seems to be just a jab at his villains. Now, this list gives us 11 people total, but I think that's okay because I don't view King Cobra and Sidewinder as villains on their own. They're more a part of the Serpent Society. Now, maybe it's cheating to include a whole group on the list of 10 greatest villains, but I feel like no member of the Serpent Society works as a villain on their own. Though I guess the exception to this is Viper, who is also here, but her relationship with the Serpent Society has also been odd. Now, particularly for this point in the 90s, this was probably the list. I would personally swap out Mr. Hyde for Dr. Faustus, since Mr. Hyde wasn't really a one-on-one villain most of the time with Cap. He tended to be a villain for other heroes. But so that would be a pretty good list. I was initially going to do a more modernized list because Flag Smasher, this version, hasn't been seen in decades, really. I think he's dead, but it didn't happen in Cap comic, so I'm not 100% sure. And I was going to swap him out for someone like the Hydra Cap from that run, only to then remember that that version of the evil Steve Rogers has now taken on the mantle of Flag Smasher. So I guess it still works.